meal preppers, welcome back to Sweet Peas and Saffron. I'm Denise and I share easy meal prep recipes that are going to give you your time back during the week. Today, we are going to take a little break from the meal prep recipes and I'm going to share with you my favorite eco-friendly kitchen products. I want to share my method because I know there's a lot of people out there who see zero waste videos, and while I think that living zero waste is amazing, an amazing goal to aspire to, I just don't really feel like it's totally realistic and it can be a little bit intimidating for the average person. I am not living zero waste. I am making the best choices I can with what I have. But over the past 2 years, we've made a few swaps that have made a huge difference in the single-use plastics that we use in our kitchen, and I wanted to share some of these swaps with you. So I'm going to jump in and start with the workhorse of my kitchen that has basically eliminated the need for plastic bags altogether, and that is the reusable silicone bag. So if you've watched my 7 freezer slow cooker recipes video that came out a few weeks ago, you'll know that I love stasher bags. Stasher bags are great. They are really good quality. The seals are fantastic. They are leak proof. They work well in the freezer. They can go through the top rack of your dishwasher, and we use them a lot. The cons of the stasher bag is that they are pricey, so it's definitely an investment. You don't have to run out and buy a whole bunch all at once. You can slowly kind of acquire them, look for sales, and maybe put them on your gift list. So Stasher has a couple different sizes. They have the snack size, which I don't have. I have the sandwich size bags, which fit 2 chicken breasts perfectly for chicken marinades. And the half-gallon size stasher bags fit 4 chicken breasts and work great for freezer crock-pot meals. Only the smaller freezer crock-pot meals. Once you start to get these larger volume freezer crock-pot meals, you're going to need to move to a meal prep container or use a plastic bag. I have also used another type of silicone bag, and I also really like this bag. It is affordable. It's 4 for $20. That's Canadian dollars, so probably even cheaper in the US. They fit 1 to 1.5 liters depending on the size you get. Now, there's a few cons on this freezer bag. The first thing is that the one that I ordered came all the way from China, so I was a bit bummed out to think about this bag flying halfway across the world to get to me. The other thing that was a really bad first impression was that they were all wrapped in plastic. So that was a bad first impression, but I have to say since then I have used them a ton. I really like them. They're easier to clean than the stasher bags. The only other problem that I've had with them is the seal is sometimes hard to get on. Especially when you first get them, the seal can be really sticky, but just stay with it. The more you use them, the more the seals slide on easier. If you're on the fence about whether or not you should buy silicone bags, my experience is they have been hugely used in our kitchen and we absolutely love them. Another great reusable bag option is these reusable produce bags. I've had these for a couple of years. They're from Flip Tumble and they work great. They're durable, and when they get dirty, you can just throw them in the washing machine and they come perfectly clean. One thing that really doesn't keep in a reusable produce bag is fresh herbs. And so instead of using the produce bags for that, I have a herb saver. This keeps the herbs fresh for honestly weeks. It's amazing. I'm gonna link you to this below. Okay, so another single-use plastic that I was using before is saran wrap or plastic wrap. I would use this to cover dishes, to wrap up like a half-used onion or something like that. But we found a few alternatives to this, and one of them is beeswax wrap. We really love this beeswax wrap. So if you have like a bowl of something that you haven't finished, you can cover it over. You can use it to wrap up half-used fruit or vegetables, and it's awesome. We love it. Another product that I use is a silicone cover. This can be used as a plastic wrap alternative for covering dishes and casseroles, but it's also a great aluminum foil alternative. So if you have like a lasagna or a casserole that you need to cover, you no longer need aluminum foil. You can just cover it with this reusable silicone cover. They're super easy to clean and they do just as good a job as aluminum foil. Another product that I love is reusable straws. So we've tried a couple different types. Stainless steel straws seem to be super popular and trendy for some reason, but I actually personally really hate them. I'm super scared I'm gonna chip a tooth. I have 2 super high energy, sort of clumsy little kids, and I would never give them a stainless steel straw. Like, that would be like giving them a freaking carving knife. So instead, we have these reusable silicone straws, and I actually really like them as well for myself. They're much safer, they wash really easily, and I haven't had any issues with them absorbing smells or flavors. Now, depending on where you shop, you might have the option to buy a plastic bin. I know it's more plastic, however, we've owned these bins for over 10 years, and I can't even imagine how many plastic bags that would have been if we hadn't had these bins. They're a little bit more convenient if you're doing like a big shopping load, because you can just like quickly load them into the car versus having like 5 to 10 smaller reusable shopping bags. Okay, so the trick with reusable bags, I think we all know, is remembering to bring them. So maybe I'm a little bit hardcore, but if I forget my bags, I just load my groceries up in the shopping cart with no bag and unload them in my car and then unload them into my house, and I kind of like punish myself a little bit. Since I started doing this, I remember my bags way more often. All right, so once I started eliminating single-use plastics from my life, I also started to take a look at my storage containers. I was formerly using some pretty flimsy plastic containers, and you just look at them differently than you look at glass meal prep containers. For one thing, you look at them as disposable and you're more likely to toss them out. So glass meal prep containers are more durable, they keep your food fresher, they heat your food more evenly, and you just don't have to worry about what might be lurking in them. I actually have a whole video on my favorite glass meal prep containers, and I'm going to link you to that up here. So not only do I use glass meal prep containers in my fridge, but I use them in my freezer, so I don't use a lot of plastic in storing stuff in my freezer. Instead, I use jars. I use these large IKEA containers. These fit like 3 quarts and they're great for a freezer crock pot meal. And I also store just like pre-made meals in meal prep containers in the freezer. If you want to see more of what I store in my freezer, I have a freezer tour and I'm going to link you to that video up here. So the last thing I want to talk about is reusable drink containers, so reusable coffee cups and water bottles. Now, I think we all probably have a reusable coffee cup and we all probably have a reusable water bottle. For me, the biggest problem is remembering to bring them. And so one thing I've started doing recently is just really getting serious with myself about committing to using them and not just owning them and have them gather dust in the cupboard. I'm going to be using them. The second thing is that I've started to pack a to-go kit every time I go out. So even if I don't plan to pick up coffee, I bring my reusable coffee cup. Even if I don't plan to go grocery shopping, I bring my reusable shopping bags, and I always bring my water bottle as well. That way, if like a coffee craving sneaks up or you realize you have to pick something up at the grocery store, you're prepared. The other thing that I've started doing, and this might sound a little silly, but it's really worked. Every time we do a YouTube shoot, we celebrate with a Starbucks coffee. And we used to be really casual about our reusable coffee cups, but we decided to make a commitment to bring our cups. And what we do is every time that we bring our cup and avoid getting a disposable coffee cup, we put a little check mark on our whiteboard. And in that way, we're kind of celebrating that we're using our cup. And like, I don't know why, but for some reason, this really helps encourage us to use it and remember it. And like, it's amazing to see how many coffee cups you avoid just by bringing your own. All right, guys. That takes care of my favorite eco-friendly kitchen products. These are the ones that we use every day in our kitchen, and I highly recommend each and every product that I talked about today. All products are linked in the description box below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I want to hear what your favorite eco-friendly kitchen product is, so leave me a comment below. So if you loved this video, I know you're gonna love the next video, but please don't laugh at our poor production quality because it was one of our earlier videos. I'm going to talk about my favorite glass meal prep containers. So check the video out over here. Bigly used. They've been bigly used in our kitchen.